So find a comfortable position in your chair. Elevate your feet if your knees are below your hips. And then we're using our mini band today. And then we're also using our massage ball a little bit as well. So we're going to start off with a little bit of breathing just to get us centered, which we will do every time. So go ahead and find a comfortable position in your chair. So hips all the way back, and we want a tall spine, and then roll shoulders down and back, and then if you just push your chin back a little bit so ears are over shoulders, okay? And then we're going to place hands on your thighs, palms up or palms down, it's up to you. Whatever helps you feel a little more open. I like palms up to start off with, but you can do it however you want. So let's go ahead, and if you're comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes, or you can just turn your gaze downward. Just begin to settle in from the day. Noticing how you're feeling. Was your day stressful? Did it drag on? Like, how are you feeling emotionally right now? Maybe it was a great day. Just check in with yourself. And now begin to notice how you feel physically. What's your energy level today? Are you noticing any tension? And the purpose right now is just to notice. It's not to label anything as good or bad. It's just to notice. Now let's shift our attention to our breath. Just noticing the movement of your breath. See if you can direct your inhale into your lower belly so that the belly expands as you inhale like a balloon. And you let the air out, the balloon collapses as you exhale. Continue with the deep belly breath. And just noticing the movement, maybe the sound of your breath, the feeling of your breath. And now notice if you feel any different physically or mentally after some deep breathing. Just allow the day to fade away so that you can be present right now. Let's bring our hands together at our hearts. Just another deep breath or two. And then release your hands and open your eyes. All right. Welcome to Gentle Fitness today. Let's just move into it slowly today, starting with wrist circles. And then go the other way. I know since I've been spending more time at a desk than I'm used to, I'm starting to feel some strain in my forearms. So let's make really wide fingers and then fists open and close. And then just shake it out. Shake out hands and wrists. All right, let's just make some circles. So make just soft fists and then rotations. And let's go the other way. And then hands on shoulders and some elbow circles Just be really gentle with your shoulders. Notice if there's any difference between the two. Okay, go the other way. And release the arms. Okay, let's do some ear to shoulder, ear to shoulder. And after doing a couple a little quicker, feel free to hold it longer on one side or the other if you're needing it more on that side. Okay, let's bring the head back to the center. We're going to turn the chin over the right shoulder. And now chin goes up and down. And come back to the center, switch sides, chin goes up and down. All right, we're gonna move to our feet real quick. We'll just get our appendages for now. So start with ankle circles on one foot. Then go the other way. Point and flex. And spread your toes really wide and curl. Do that a couple more times. Okay, let's switch legs. So start with some circles. Maybe some of you have cracking ankles. Go the other way. Mine are not cracking today. Let's point and flex. Spread your toes really wide and then curl, and do that a couple times. All right, so we're gonna grab our massage ball and move to some of those pec rolls. So you can use a block or a book for this, or your hand. Any of them are fine. So take the ball. Remember, we're working from your sternum across to your shoulder. Okay, and we're just going to start with some of those gentle circles. Just kind of finding if there's any knots. Okay, and then do some drags. Start at the top and drag and push hard. Work your way across. Ooh, my ball almost shot out there. That would have been funny if it did. Okay, let's switch sides. These pecs, this is something that's easy to do at your desk during the day because, like we've talked about before, the muscles get shortened from the position we're always holding our arms out in front of our body. Our arms are meant to move in all planes of motion, but yet we keep our hands like right in front of us all day long. So do some circles, do some drags. So this is to help loosen up those tight pecs. Once we wake them up, get some blood flow, then we can start stretching them. Okay, all right, so now we're gonna put block or book down and then work into the quads a little bit. And don't forget to kind of work around the joint. Now we wanna avoid the bones. Like if it's just bony, like there's no point in rolling on your kneecap, right? But don't avoid where the muscle is, and there's muscle all the way right up to the joint. And remember the IT band on the outside? Try that out a little bit. Oh, there's a spot. Okay, let's do the other leg. I hope you're using your massage ball now and then during the week, not just during this class. It's a very simple tool you can use. I mean, I'd like to say at least once a day. Now, one thing that I got, it's called a percussive device, and it's like a jackhammer for your body. Actually, it's out right now. I will show you guys this, okay? So you keep rolling. I'm gonna show you what I use. This way more, okay, so this one's called a Theragun, but it's super loud, but it works like a jackhammer, so I'll show you really quick. So that's what it does, but you can use it all over, and it moves so quickly that it bypasses like your pain receptors, so you can use it on your really tight muscles and it doesn't hurt that bad. So if you tend to get really tight muscles, something like this might be good to invest in, honestly. But I just wanted to show you that in case you're needing more than a ball can provide. Okay, so now we're gonna do our feet. We haven't done our feet yet. So let's come up to standing, and you can put the ball on the floor. I actually like to use the chair for this to hold on to, just for balance, so you can adjust your chair. So if you have any foot issues, or if your feet get tired or unhappy, this is really great. So put your foot on the ball and just push and roll forward and back. So we're rolling from like your toe knuckles, okay, all the way almost to your heel. And you can roll the outside, the middle, and the arch area. And then let's stop on all your toe knuckles and kind of push and roll there. And then move more to your arch and push and roll there. If you're not getting much sensation, you push harder. If it's too much, back off. And then we'll roll closer to the heel. Okay, let's switch sides. There's a lot that can go wrong, well, with our whole bodies, but with our feet, and we kind of ignore our feet. And the mobility in your big toe joint can affect your knees, can affect your hips. So if you have an immobile big toe joint, I would suggest doing things like this, and even doing some like manual stuff. And what I mean by that is you just literally grab your foot and you work through mobilizing your big toe. So let's do targeted areas across the toe knuckles, across the middle of the foot, the arch, and then closer to the heel. Okay, so we're going to stop there with your ball. And I promised you some mini band work today. But before we get to that, I want to do one quick stretch, since we did loosen up the pecs a little bit. So let's take arms out in front, round through the back, pull your shoulder blades apart, and then send your thumbs back and lift your chest. So let's do a few more like that. So what we're really focusing on here is the lifting your chest and reaching back. That's our big focus. Okay, so now go ahead and grab your mini band. And I've got two weights here, and I've got, I think, like a medium and heavy, and I wish I had a light and a medium, because some of these might be kind of hard with the medium. But we're going to start with the band around your wrists. You can do this seated too if you want. Okay, so you can sit for this one. We're going to start band around the wrists and reach the arms up. And then you're going to push against the band as you pull down. Okay, and then reach up and kind of release your wrists back together. Push against the band and pull down. We'll do a few more like that. And depending on how difficult your resistance is, will determine how difficult this is. And this is pretty hard with this resistance. Ugh. Okay, now as you're doing this, now what I want you to do is engage your core. Okay, really engage your core as you pull down and keep your pelvis level. Let's do two more. Okay, last one. And down. Okay, good job. There's not a ton we can do with upper body with the mini bands. They're really useful for lower body. So we're going to do some of that now. I am going to pull my mat back actually a little bit. Now, your chair is always there for you for balance and stability. So just because I'm not using it doesn't mean you can't use it. So feel free to use your chair at any time. It's always there. Okay, so we're going to take the band, put it around your ankles, and then move it all the way up right above your knees. Okay? Now, the most useful part of this exercise is that band trying to pull your knees back together, because what happens is your knees feel that and they say, oh, we've got to push out to keep our legs in the right alignment, which activates your glute medius. And I bet all of us have some weakness in our glute medius. We just do from our lifestyles, okay? So we're trying to activate our glute medius. So take your feet shoulder width apart, okay? And now you're gonna push your knees out against the band. Now check in with your feet. So we want our feet parallel, okay? Lift and spread your toes and then clamp them back down, because I want your entire foot other than maybe your arch. We don't want our arches to collapse. So push your feet down and then push kind of out towards your pinky toe so your arches lift. Okay, so now we're gonna do squats with our glute medius activated and our really good base of support. Okay, so now we're gonna engage our core. I know it's a lot of steps to just do a squat, but it's important. Okay, so we want you to find shoulders across your arms, and then squeeze your core, engage your core. Now we're gonna push against the band as you move down into your squat. You choose the depth. Okay, if you can get to knees in line with hips, great. If not, that's fine. Push against the band as you come all the way back up, squeeze your glutes. Okay, engage your core. Now you're gonna move through about 6 to 8 of these at your own speed. But what I want you to do is keep your body as tight as possible. So you're hugging your muscles to your bone, you're pushing your band, your knees out against the band, you're engaging your core and squeezing your glutes as you stand up. But please don't forget to breathe. That's kind of the hardest part when you're really trying to engage, is still breathing, okay? So I don't know how many I'm at because I have been talking, but I'm gonna guess I have 2 or 3 more. So we'll do 2 or 3 more. Now I want you to notice as you do these, if your weight has a tendency to shift to one leg, like is one leg stronger than the other, can you keep equal weight in both legs? Let's do one more right here. And up. Okay. Good. Let everything relax. We're going to move into the glutes and hips some more. So move the band down to your ankles now. Okay. So now we're going to do some crab walks. We're going to move side to side. So now let's just move to the right a little ways. Okay, we're just going to waddle over here. So keep resistance on the band at all times. So that means don't ever let your feet come so close that they're slack on the band. So always a little resistance. Okay, we're going to bend the knees a little bit, so a mini squat. Hands can go on hips. Okay, engage your core, and then big steps sideways. And if you're using a yoga mat like me, you can just go the length of the mat, or you can go across the room if you've got more space. We're just going up and back. Okay, so now I want you to pay attention to your feet. Look down at your feet. They need to stay parallel. Don't let them turn out. Okay, keep them parallel. Many of us have a tendency to allow our toes to turn out. So we're going to try and keep them in, parallel. Are we feeling it yet? Maybe a little deep burn in the hips starting to develop. If it doesn't burn yet, take bigger steps. Oh yeah, I'm feeling it. Okay, take a break, shake it out a little bit. All right, we're gonna do some kickbacks, which focus on the glute max a little bit more. because we just did the abductors, so the outer thighs and hips. So now what we do, we're going to alternate sides, same starting position, but we do a mini squat and then stand up and kick the legs straight back. Stand and kick. Okay? So you're trying to kick straight back, but don't allow your pelvis to move. Keep your core tight. We're going to do one more each side, and we're going to switch it up a little. Okay, now we're just going to do the left leg back, and we're going to do them faster. So we just go down and kick, kick. So we're speeding up just the left leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side, keep going. Now the right leg. Kick straight back. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, good job. Those are always so much fun. Okay, we're gonna move to the floor and do some bridges and then move into, yeah, this class goes by fast. So go to the floor and then move your band up above your knees again. Now for homework, you could do all of these band exercises once or twice before our next class, but do like 2 sets of them, okay? So we did, to review, we did the pull downs, we did squats, we did the lateral crab walks. Now we're gonna do bridges. So on your back, take your feet a little wider than your hips, because now the band's trying to pull your knees in. Hands go to your side, push your shoulders down, tilt your head back so there's a space between your chin and your chest. Now push through your heels and lift your hips and push out against the band. Okay, then we lower hips down and repeat. Lift the hips. Now really squeeze your glutes as you push the knees out. If you were to do these exercises like 2 or 3 times a week, it would really help your hips and your low back, because it targets those muscles that tend to get weak, and then our hips and low back aren't stabilized well. So these are one of those core group of exercises that are really simple to do with this band, but that honestly you probably just want to do every week for the rest of your life. They're really good. That's why we're doing them right at the beginning of this course. Let's do 2 more. Okay, now this time keep your hips up, push out and in against the band. So hips stay up, squeeze your glutes. 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Whew. Okay, good job. We are going to do a core exercise before we finish. Just stay on your back, but now take the band off. Okay, so now we're going to start getting into some core stabilization, some core activation. So I want you to start with neutral spine, neutral pelvis, just meaning there's like a teeny arch in your low back, but your spine's not tilting back, your spine's not tilting up. Okay, your pelvis, I mean. Okay, so now what we're going to do, hands at your side, bring your feet hip width apart, and we're going to slowly push the lower ribs into the ground until you feel your core engage, and now very slowly lift the left leg up. Lower the leg, and you can relax between if you want, or you can try and keep your core engaged. But every time you start to lift a leg, engage your core and push your lower ribs down. Now we could do these fast and not do them correctly, and you wouldn't feel much, but we're trying to really train the core with good movement patterns. Okay, now we're going to add on and make it a little more challenging. My screen's going blank. Stay there. Okay. So now, bring both legs up to 90 degrees. Start with your knees kind of over your belly. And notice how there's not a lot of work happening here. Okay, but now I want you to move your knees away from you until you feel your core engage and push your lower ribs and lower back down. Okay, now bring the knees back up and relax. And then lower until you feel the core engage. Don't let your back arch more than a normal arch. That's where pushing your lower back, your lower ribs comes in. Okay, now you can keep doing this and do it 2 or 3 more times, or I'll give you an addition. So start with knees over hips again, so lowering away, and now take one leg down, bring it back up, and switch. Okay, so we just progressed. So you can pick any one of the previous versions of core that we have done that suits your level. Keep pushing the lower back down. We're going to do one more each side. And release the legs. Okay, good job, you guys. We're going to finish up with some stretching. So take feet really wide so that they're wider than your hips. We're going to do our windshield wipers. Arms go out to the sides and go knees side to side. Okay, we worked our hips a lot today, so let's do a hip stretch. So bring feet back together, cross one ankle over a knee, and then pull the leg up. Okay, switch legs. And pull it up. And then release. Okay, we're going to flip over to hands and knees. Actually, no, not to hands and knees. Flip over to your bellies, as long as you're comfortable there, okay? We're going to take the right arm straight out to the side with your palm facing down. Okay, push your left hand into the ground, lift your left leg and roll yourself over, okay? And then relax your head and your neck. So this left leg, you can just put it on the floor behind you. So we've got a shoulder and a pec stretch. Of course, only go as far into this as feels safe. Try and relax your head, your neck, your shoulders. And then let's roll over and do the other side. So unroll, switch the arms up. Roll yourself gently over. And then roll back to your bellies. Now we're going to come up to all fours. If you're not comfortable on your knees, we're just doing some cat-cows, so you can do these seated as well in the chair with your hands on your knees. So you send your belly button towards the floor, send your head and your tailbone up towards the sky, and then reverse it. Pull your belly button in, send your head and tailbone to the floor, and do a few more like that. Okay, we're going to come up to tall kneeling or standing. So if you're not comfortable on your knees, then you can stand for this one. It's just our last stretch. So from right here, we reach up, grab the left wrist with the right hand, and pull over to the side. then switch sides. And release. All right, you guys are all done. So these classes are being recorded and they are being posted to the Fit Zone channel on YouTube. So if you want to go back and review those band exercises, feel free to do that. Or if you missed something from the previous week. So thanks for joining today.
Thanks, Cami.